Okay, here we are again. We're going to take another run at ranked, getting away from the angry chicken and getting up to whatever the next level is. This whole ranking system has been redone. But either way, we are going to plow it with our secret control deck that I debuted last video and see how far we can go with it. We definitely came really close in the last game, running very close to decking ourselves, taking all the cards, out of your library and being burned out by fatigue. The fatigue cards you draw when your library runs out. Hopefully this time it won't be so red line, so close to the end. Normally with all the card draw you are able to draw out one of your finishes, one of the few finishes, and close out the game. But hey, sometimes you got to go to that very last card. It's just how it is. It's what happens when there's only 30 cards in a deck. It's not like it's Magic the Gathering where you have 60. And, the odds of decking yourself are quite, remote. Alright, so this is actually a pretty good opening hand. The Polymorph is just like such a good insurance card, and the Frostbolt will take off that early pressure. The Arcane Intellect I'm probably going to ditch here. And that is because it's more of a mid-game card. Our opponent will be doing something early on. That's usually always what happens, and you don't have time to stop and cast Arcane Intellect. So we're going to ditch that. We're happy to draw it later on. Okay. Admittedly, I would have preferred Arcane Intellect to Sierra at the moment, but them's the breaks. The odds are that I wasn't going to draw a Ysera or a Sierra right then. I should really learn how to pronounce that name. After this, I'm going to jump on, World of Warcraft Wikipedia and work out how to pronounce that name before I continue to embarrass myself. Alright, J Baker 0815. Let's see what you've got. But as I was saying, the Arcane Intellect would have been preferable to the dragon. Because I'm not going to be able to play the dragon for some time. Maybe never. Maybe I'll just die because I drew Sierra right then and have no actual early action. Alright, I'm not too concerned about that as an opener because I can straight away Fire Blast it. As a matter of fact, that's actually probably a terrible opening on his behalf. I realize he had 1 mana, so he plus played his 1 mana creature, but you don't really want to play Elven Archer at turn 1 anyway. Wouldn't you rather use the end of the battlefield effect? Oh, what do they call that? The battle cry. Wouldn't you rather use the battle cry effect on one of my 1 toughness creatures, or to pop a divine shield? If I had a divine shield on a particularly nasty looking, monster, you could just throw down the Elven Archer, pop the shield, and then kill it in a, meaningful way. Doing that 1 damage and losing a card because of it was not ideal. And just to rub it in my face, as I said earlier, there would be some early action and I wouldn't be able to play Arcane Intellect. He's just sitting there. So Arcane Intellect would have been an amazing card to keep, given the circumstances. So he hasn't used the coin yet, which means we could be seeing a very nasty 4-drop. Which we may want to copy. So we'll put that out. Pass the turn to him. It may get him to second guess. Secrets can be a little bit funny. You may not necessarily know what it is. Whatever he plays... Okay, so he played the Grizzly. That means we get a Grizzly, and then we use our Grizzly to Grizzly his Grizzly. So in a way, our Mirror Entity is just a removal spell. It removes, reasonably cleanly, their early threat. I can Frostbolt it and keep the creature. That is another alternative here. And it's actually a reasonably good one. Because he will then need to keep... He will need to use a spell to remove our Grizzly. But I could save Frostbolt for something a little more scary. Interesting. I think we'll do that. I think we'll keep the taunt creature. It's a taunt creature. Hit him for 3 damage. 4. And pass it back to him. He'll probably play something way more ugly than my bear now, and then my bear will look sort of like a kitten. Yeah. Okay, there you go. It's not like I would have been able to kill the Senjin Shield Master with a Frostbolt anyway. Yeah. So I'm probably going to Fire Blast the Voodoo Doctor, and honestly, the Voodoo Doctor doesn't particularly faze me. He's, you know, I can kill him at will, basically, with this. It's a really good power. So how to remove the Senjin Shield Master? I mean, he hasn't actually got a lot of damage on the board here. It's you know, I'm being protected. I do sort of want to Fireball it, and then throw my bear at his Shield Master. I will definitely Fireball his Senjin Shield Master. I won't throw my bear at him though. I will throw the bear at over the top. The reason for that is I'm going to make him play a card to try to buff him and throw him into my bear. And next turn I fully intend on killing him with a Fire Blast. I was about to say, depending on what he plays next, as long as it's not like a Shattered Sun Cleric, which we're lucky it's not, the Shattered Sun Cleric would have put him to a 2 toughness, and that would have ruined my plan, and that actually would have been a bad play on my behalf. So maybe that wasn't the cleanest thing I could have done, but we got lucky, I think, because he played this just generally bad card. 1 damage isn't going to do a lot to scare me. I mean, I could even drop Blizzard here and just clean both of them up, but I'm really not even being that threatened. I will just, for no cards and very little mana, just remove them. Now's about the time I want to start putting my counter spells out, and unfortunately, because this card is so bad, I actually don't even want to waste my Vaporize on it. It's not what I want to do. I'll put my counter spell out because, you know, something could come of that later. I don't expect him to buff his own creature, but it may, you know, a turn or 2 from now come into play, especially when I'm intending to cast Ysera. Eat your words! Alright. So we just wanted to, you know, get Axie. I mean, we stopped it from happening, but honestly, it wouldn't have mattered if he did do it. So I'm a little bit upset that went away like that. Because, you know, we take 4 damage and then, you know, big whoop, we're good. We've got a good trap here. The Yeti is actually a scary creature. You gotta respect that. That is a fearsome thing. But I believe we can catch him quite easily. I mean, we Frostbolt the Goldshire Footman, then cast Vaporize. He attacks into our Vaporize, and I think we got him. I think that's the best play. We're holding our sheep for a rainy day. Yep, that's exactly what we'll do. I mean, it seems a shame to use a Frostbolt on that stupid Footman, but hey, when you gotta like channel a Yeti into a Vaporize, it's just what you gotta do. The Yeti's gonna die anyway. We don't particularly care about putting an extra damage onto him, so we'll chuck it out at Hellscream Garrosh. Who's that? It's not Garrosh. That's the legendary card. The Ooze. One of the benefits of playing a mage or a warlock or something like that is that, you know, you just don't get hit by, you know, oozes. And I realize people play them, and, you know, I'd consider it. I certainly am considering taking 1 or 2 cards out of this deck. Oozes are a perfectly good option. Right. It seems at this point that casting Blizzard would actually be pretty good. Blizzard will remove their ooze, and it will freeze their Booty Babe Bouncer? Booty Babe Bodyguard, beg your pardon. The alternative is I play my Azure Drake, and probably, at best, I would trade with that guy. But that doesn't really resolve, you know, this. That was an error. We'll Blizzard. Yeah, he's frustrated that I'm talking too much. I will ping him once, he will unfreeze on his turn, and then I'll ping him again next turn. There is that Rampage card, which may actually put his health up quite high. I'm just sort of expecting that he won't have that. Ha! Huh. Wow. Yep. So he had it. Sometimes I wonder if I talk too much. Eat your words. It's not the end of the world, though. I mean, ideally, we would have just pinged him again. We would have been done. Now, he's spent another card onto it. We've still taken no damage, and we can polymorph it. And we should end up ahead in the card trade. I mean, I've been card trading pretty well. I've got a hand he doesn't. So, I definitely don't want to take 8 damage, and the only way I can see, definitely, with, you know, as a hard escape from that, is to polymorph it. And, yeah, get rid of the sheep. We just don't need none of that. Mid-game lull. No action coming from him. He's only going to hit us for 4 damage. Get some cards. Perfect. Pass the turn, and we got some removal. I mean, he'll stab us for, we can guess 4 damage, and then we fireball it. And we're laughing. We have both our finishes this game nice and early on, so we don't need to wait. What I would definitely like to see, though, is a counterspell come out, because we do want to play those and be safe. But given his hand size, I think we're alright. So the 2 plays here are Fireball the creature and pass the turn, or Ragnaros and 50-50 kill the creature, 50-50 shoot it in his face. I think we'll go the 50-50. I mean, let's force him to make a play here. And I can ping on him. I would very much, upon pressing this button, like Ragnaros to shoot that stupid Naga. But it's okay if he doesn't. Okay, we got lucky. That's good. That makes me feel happy. I feel happy. Because now, no matter what he does, he constantly has to deal with this endless barrage of crap that Ragnaros is going to just throw. I mean, we can leave it up to 50-50 again, but I think at this point we'll just let Ragnaros do his thing and we'll clear a path for him, so this can go. Yeah. Let's put a Drake out. Oh, I think we've closed this game out. It's just a matter of time of just closing it out now. We'll hang on to Arcane Missiles. I realize we can hit him for 4 damage, but, you know, he could play Brawl or something like that, and then this could win, and then he could play an actual creature, and it's just going to get ugly. So we'll just continue to beat down on him here. Matter of fact, actually, playing this card might have been a mistake. We could have just left Ragnaros out. Cleave. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so Elven Archer doesn't look too crash hot now. I'm so far ahead in this game, we're basically done. I mean, I push him away. Can we kill him this turn? That's a good question, can we? No, I think we're a bit shy. Next turn. Might as well. Look, we're so far in, right? He takes the top card and it has to save him. Yeah. I would have as well. There was no getting out of that. There you go, Leper Gnome. To be perfectly honest, I think I preferred Angry Chicken. Okay, so that's interesting. I was 25 before, I'm 24, so, you know, climbing that ladder. Let's do one more. I'm reasonably confident in how this deck performs. I gotta say, I mean, it's only low ranks again, because it's taking some time to get back up to where I was. But at the low levels especially people who are playing, you know, Elven Archer and, you know, that sort of thing. You know, it definitely stomps the lower grade of players. And yes, I realize like Elven Archer goes particularly well in some of the warrior decks who use Enrage, but did we even see any real Enrage cards from that guy? I don't recall seeing any, actually, to be totally honest with you. Because you can play it, shoot your own guy, trigger Enrage, swing with Gramosh for 10. It's frightening. Okay, so this is actually pretty good. This can go. It's just too heavy at the moment. The way we can improve this hand is to see another Frostbolt, or another early removal, a mirror entity, or, you know, a fireball or a sheep. Just something like that. We're happy to draw him in a couple of turns, but we don't need it right now. And once again, I draw my absolute fatty and wish I didn't do that. I gotta say though, I still think I made the right call, despite being screwed by it. But there you go. We'll hang on to our coin as well. I don't think we really want to get rid of the coin. Especially when you can drop a Ragnaros on turn 7. Or something like that. Or hit that crucial Flame Strike on turn 6. Dropping the coin just to Fire Blast him for 1 damage is nonsense. Alright, a 2 toughness creature. I gotta say, this is just, like I was saying before, this is just one of those creatures that you just don't really see at any real sort of competitive level. Or I certainly haven't. But at the lower levels, people's card collections are a lot lower, and, you know, you get to do fun things with it. Do we take the 50-50 chance that we can hit it with Arcane Missiles, or do we just take the guaranteed Frostbolt? Now, if he wasn't a Druid, I would probably take the chance. But because he is a Druid, I'm gonna get rid of it. And that's probably because he has so many buff cards available to him. Let's get rid of that. He could turn that into like a 2/6 or something ridiculous in very little time at all. And removing the creature before he has a chance to buff it is good, especially when you only have so much range. Like, that could only do 3 damage, and it wasn't a sheep. At the time I didn't have a sheep, but I have one now. So things are looking a lot better. I think we just buy time at the moment. I don't want to use Vaporize on this. This will run in, do 1 damage, and I'll Vaporize it. I'd rather play Vaporize after I see him drop a lot of buffs onto that creature. So we'll Ice Barrier. It just keeps me alive. Keeps him guessing as well. He's probably thinking, oh, you know, Mirror Entity or Counterspell, and he might play a bad spell to try to play around it. Although, we haven't particularly seen a lot of people playing around the secrets at this point. At this 24 Leper Gnome level. Okay, he found out my ruse. It was in fact Ice Shield. That is a 1-of in this deck. It's not a 2-of. It used to be a 2-of, but then I realized it was pretty underwhelming. 1 is okay for now. So what do we do staring down 5 damage? I would like to Blizzard, to be totally honest. And we do have a coin. I think that's exactly what we're going to do. Hang on to the coin. I mean, especially in this deck, we don't need the tempo. You know, we don't want to go super fast. Well played. I mean, that was a 1-for-1, but we did stop this attacking, I suppose. I'm sort of hoping that I can just Arcane Missile it and Fire Blast, beg your pardon. Fire Blast him down. I must admit though, I do actually have a little bit of problems with some Druids with this deck. It's just that their flexibility in their cards is sometimes enough just to overwhelm me. Okay, so a 2/3 that doesn't do much isn't that scary. If we played our Azure Drake, we'll probably look a lot better. I think that's what we'll do. It draws a card, it progresses our hand, and it puts him on the back foot. He now needs to act to take out our Azure Drake. So that's good. I mean, he can swing directly at me into my, shielded, ice shield, 5 extra armor or whatever. Wow. Man, I think I've hit rock bottom. I mean, I thought, yeah, okay, so people are playing Goldshire Footman and Silverback Patriarch. You know, the deck quality level must be lower. It's, yeah, I mean, ugh. But hey, I mean, I can't work it out if it's like new players getting new beta keys and they get in, they just don't have the collection, or if it's just like they just don't know what's a good card yet. I find that like a lot of the noob players, like not noob players, like the inexperienced players, they favor cards that have taunt, and You don't need them. You really don't. So we're going to get rid of that and try to keep this guy alive. He will die to another one of his shapeshifts, but he can at least take another 4 -1 for his armor 3 damage. So we'll try to, you know, try to get rid of this footman, which should be easy enough. And sorry, when I say 4, like I can swing for 4, but then he can try to kill it with shapeshift and take another 3. So like he's really, you know, he's in a bad way. He has nothing going on here, so we can have an opportunity to draw some cards and refuel our hand. And let's, you know. And for some reason, and I can't quite work it out, these druids that I play against, their hands just do not disappear. Like, their hand size is just constant. I don't recall him playing any particular draw spells, but they just seem to trade efficiently for me. Maybe you know, maybe I'm struggling or something like that. But man, oh man, like, they have a lot of cards that can do it. I don't think this guy has done it yet. Jaeger. Let's call him Jaeger. Jaeger hasn't done any yet, which frightens me a little bit, because if he does have them, he will just pull ahead of me. Let's fireball him. Let's fireball him and set up the Spellbender for my Ragnaros next turn. That's actually really, really good timing for me just then. On the 7 mana, nothing on the field. Plays into my counterspell, and next turn I can play Ragnaros. It's going to be good. These don't concern me. These 3 creatures don't concern me. If I play Ragnaros and they rush him, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. He has 8, and he'll take out a lot of them. That's reasonable. That's pretty good. I mean, another play we could do is play Arcane Missiles and hope to ping both of them, or one of them, and then finish it with this. But, you know, what are you going to do? I think I'm going to just go and play this. I think we're strong enough in our deck build to win just with the power of our cards. If this guy wasn't playing such bad creatures, I would imagine that I wouldn't play Ragnaros just then. I would ensure that he can get a lot more bang for his buck. I would try to trade off and 1-for-1 them a little. Get value 2-for-1 them with Arcane Missiles and my really good passive. I would do that more. There you go. So Spellbend is really good when you're playing against druids. That is just one bonus, because they have so many buff spells, and you can buff your own dude. That is really cool. Now I was already ahead, I'm relatively sure, unless he's sitting on some absolute gold mine up here, which I'll grant can happen, and has happened, and will happen again. But wow, what a swing that would have been. Had I been behind just then, I could have, you know, just swung so far ahead. Yeah. And he's just dumped his hand, probably in frustration or desperation, to try to deal with, you know, this blunder, this blunder here. Yeah. That was actually dumb. He didn't have to just sacrifice his guy just there, but he did. So the question is, can we kill him this turn? The answer to that question is, let's see. Look, if we remove him with a fireball, he can take 8. What's the best way to do this? We can sheep and ping it for 6 mana, and then we can go 8 onto there, plus the 6 from the fireball to the face will be, what, 16? 14? 15, 16, 17, 18. That's only if he hits him, though. I think we go for it. I think we go for it. 50-50 chance that he will do it. So let's just start with, you know, this is one, you know, let's just see. Now 50-50 Ragnaros, see, I wouldn't normally do this, but 50-50% chance Ragnaros will just end the game right now is pretty good. If he doesn't and shoots this guy, I am as happy with that, because then he top decks one card and it either kills Ragnaros or he loses the game. And I'm so backed up with stuff here, like it's fine. So that reach, huh? Let's see what happens. Well, he can flounder around a little bit longer. The Grizzly. Not too concerned about this. He goes to 7 life. I sheep it. I ping it with the spell. Removes it entirely. And I pass the turn. Just to be safe. I mean, I always like to play out the turn anyway. Because you never know. If you miss something, you'll be laughing at how terrible you are. And when you record yourself like I am now, it's... people get to relive your mistake over and over again. There you go. Quick rank up. What am I now? Argent Squire. And what a beautiful hair I have as well. Very shiny. I say we do one more. Secret Control. Here we go. Ranking up. Now, I'm not too sure. Was that our first game as Leper Gnome? That previous one? I think it might have been. So does that mean when you rank up, you immediately get a star? And if you lose, you can lose that star. But if you win, you just progress to the next level? Is that what I'm getting here? Perhaps I should pay more attention. Another mage! The Weaslaw. Weaseling out of things is what separates us from the animals. You know. Except for the Weaslaw! Getting a lot of luck today getting these Frostbolts in my opening hands. I can't complain about that. That's really, really good. Counterspell, I don't know. I sort of want to get rid of these 2 cards. I feel like I can improve on it. I may just get rid of the counterspell though. I need some action. Actually, you know what? They're both going. They feel to me more like a mid-game sort of card. I want them at turn 4 to 6. I don't really need them now, and I could improve. It wouldn't matter if I draw Ragnaros and Ysera out right now, because I don't think in the early stages that they're going to get much play anyway. Those 2 cards, you're not necessarily going to be jamming it on the curve. I could be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. I'm happy to draw that Arcane Missiles though. We'll just pass the turn and go. I've got a reasonably good hand. The Pyroblast can go, honestly. I only really want to draw that when he's, you know, in the death throes. And he passes back. Ragnaros, why not? Let's just ping him and pass turn. The Weaslaw. Okay, so he's not necessarily storming the field either. Either that means he just has a shocking hand or he's playing a very similar deck to mine. Which is fine. Because there's a lull, I think we're just going to go straight into that Arcane Intellect. There's no sense in pinging him. We don't really rely on that early damage to finish him off. If you watch that last game, I slogged him for, you know, 20 odd damage or something like that. Something obnoxious. Lucky for me, I drew into all 3 of my finishes, and I you know, not actually lucky. That's unlucky. I would like them to be in here, but I would like them to be removal spells. Okay, here's the double mana worm. This will hurt. This is something that I don't want to look at. That's really painful. It seems like he's waited to do that. So what's probably going to happen is he'll cast a spell and they'll both trigger their ability, get extra attack, and flog me. So having a counter spell up would actually be pretty good, because it will negate the effect of the actual spell, which will probably be just like a, you know, probably a fireball maybe to my face, and take another 2 damage that'll be given there. So I'll probably want that up. Or we can just remove one. I think we remove one. We just got to get rid of these. These are ugly. What are the odds of hitting all 3 into that Mana Worm? I say we do it, and next turn we'll be using this anyway, so let's see what happens. Oh, nearly very, very lucky there. The only concern is that he may actually buff the creature with a Shadowed Sun Cleric, and then I can't kill it with this. No, he's decided to draw cards. I can wear the 3 damage. I feel like that is fine. And the mirror images are an absolute no concern to me whatsoever. These don't do anything against this deck. I try to avoid taking cards that are so narrow like that. See you later. Get rid of that. I mean, our only options here are to put the counterspell up or the ice barrier. I think we just put the ice barrier up. Keep him guessing and save that counterspell for our Ysera, our Ragnaros. It can also make him play a little bit silly. If he sort of expects that to be a counterspell, he can sort of, you know, lead out with a dud spell. And then when he finds out that it's not a counterspell, you know, he's sort of mucked up his mana a little bit. Okay, judging by the creatures that he has out now, in particular this one sort of suggests that he has a lot of minions in his deck. Because you wouldn't take him if you weren't intending on rushing down someone. Which might just mean that he had a bad hand at the start, because he didn't do anything for the first couple of turns. Unfortunately for him, a blizzard right now wrecks his day. And there is absolutely no reason to not do that. So I will wreck his day. That is one of those instances where I just got 3 of his cards taken out by 1 of my own. So that is just superb value. I mean, I realized one of those cards was this mirror image, which does nothing, but the other 2 were vaguely threatening. So, his secret. He secrets my secret. Frankly, I don't want to throw my counterspell into his counterspell. I really want this to hang around. I really want this to hang around, so I think we'll lead with a mirror entity. Okay, it's not a counterspell. Okay. It could be a mirror entity, which could be a little bit frightening if I play a Ragnaros and he gets a Ragnaros. Especially if my Ragnaros misses his Ragnaros and then his Ragnaros hits my Ragnaros, I would be very displeased. That would be very upsetting. I think we'll just ping that, get it down. We could put it onto him, take him to 27, but I mean, when we start flogging him at the end of this game, like, which is what we're attempting to do, we will be flogging for, you know, so much damage at a time that the 1 or 2 incremental damage points aren't going to matter. We got a free spell power creature, which is pretty good. I mean, it makes an 11 damage Pyroblast for whatever that's worth. Vaporize. 8 mana, huh? Yeah, I really want to get Ragnaros out, but I am too afraid that this will be a mirror entity. And I can't really test that with the creatures that I have. If it is, his Ragnaros will be better than my Ragnaros, because he has so many things that my Ragnaros might shoot instead of his. Which is bad. So I need to work on this, or draw a creature so I can, you know, confirm that this isn't actually a mirror entity. Because I will lose the game if that is a mirror entity. So let's get into it. Some for you. Some for you. Vaporize could actually be a good choice here. I would fully expect his Dalaran Mage to attack my Dalaran Mage, and then he would just Fire Blast my Dalaran Mage and take it away. But you never know, you might just want that 1 damage on me. It's probably not worth it. I think we'll go with a counterspell. Well, we got enough mana, we'll do both. I was gonna pick one or the other. We'll do both, because I can resolve a Sira or a Ragnaros, and he will struggle to remove it. Or he can use it, or he can burn up his Ice Lance. I gotta say, I don't particularly like Ice Lance, but but it was actually sort of effective there, because he very cheaply, for 1 mana, took out my counterspell. But that's not why you take Ice Lances. You don't take them to take out, you know, counterspells. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, that's a nice spell to have drawn just then. I am relatively positive that that Fireball is going straight into this Stormwind Champion. And that is what it shall do. I think we established that it's not a, this secret up here isn't a counter spell because we cast spells before, so we should be fine. Okay. Stops him attacking, which is, you know, something. So we're on 5 cards, he's on 2, and that's the aim of this game. We just grind them out. I think I'm going to play the Vaporize, though, and get rid of this. He'll swing into me next turn, more than likely. It will be removed. And then I can Fire Blast his last Mirror Image. You got to be really patient with this deck. Really, really patient. That's actually really upsetting, because if he swings for that Mirror Image first, it'll get rid of the Destroy thing. Yeah. Either he's very smart and worked that out, or he's just lucky because he started from the left and he's going to move across his creatures and swing them in like that. I'm gonna assume that he's actually really smart. I think it's the the best possible thing to do. Now this is a big reason why we keep Polymorph, because that thing is horrific to remove. It's Taunt Divine Shield, but Polymorph does a pretty good job of it. Yeah. That card just... The card he played, I've forgotten its name, I'll bring it up. The Sunwalker. It just has so much inbuilt value. Like, you normally have to spend 2 cards to remove it. There's only a few cards that don't require 2 cards to remove it, like Sheep, or like the Warlock Destroy spell, which is a word I can't remember. And I just yeah. Oh wow. Sorry, I got sidetracked. He's got a lot of damage out of nowhere. He has dropped his hand, but we are sort of on the back foot here. And I'm still afraid to play Ragnaros. There is a very real chance that that is like ice armor. And I'm being a big sissy. But what do we get rid of? I think it has to be this man, because he's causing about 4 damage, 2 on there and +1/+1, so I think we'll get rid of him. So here's a real pickle. I mean, I can play Ragnaros, and if that is an mirror entity, he will get a Ragnaros, and I will die next turn. He will just kill me. I assume, like, or put me very, very low. But if it's Ice Armor, I win the game. So what do? I actually do suspect that it's not Ice Armor. You know, I think we'll play it safe and see what happens. I mean, we'll ping this and just hope that we get somewhere. Although we do have a Pyroblast. Oh, it's ugly. We're going here. We're gonna risk it. Hope he draws an absolute nothing spell. If this is a burn spell, we'll probably just lose the game right now. So if this is a Fireball, or even worse, a Pyroblast. There's a Fireblast, getting low, gonna take another 3. What's this? He held it. Okay, so finally we've drawn a creature. We can test if to see what this is, and we should be on our way. Let's have a look. There you go. Perfect read, eh? That's an absolute killer read. I think our options are to ping this, and when I say ping, I mean use Fire Blast, or put down Ragnaros. I think if we play Ragnaros, there's a chance that nothing will disappear off the board. We can also Pyroblast one of those creatures, which is like an ugly way to do it, but it's fine. I think we're on 8, which means if that's a Fireball, we die. We die. Because he will go 6 +1 +1. Or actually, it'll probably just be 8 damage. If it's a Fireball, we're dead anyway. So we have to reduce the damage on the board here. We can't risk playing Ragnaros and then having him hit the player there. We'll take our 1, 2, 3 damage and hope that this is just nothing. I honestly hope that his he didn't draw anything off my Blood Mage just then. Nothing relevant. Okay, we've passed the turn. That relieves me, and it relieves me even more to see that we have a counterspell, because that means if he does try to bolt us down, we'll be fine. We are on 6. He probably has something. Let's get that out. Let's get that out for free. I don't have much left. I think I'm just gonna... It doesn't matter about pinging him. We'll just ping him. Then, I could draw a Frostbolt next turn and be alright. Pinging him doesn't matter so much. We're really running this one quite low. I mean, if he draws the right card, we just instant lose. So, this is not a place where we want to be. Not gonna lie. I think I wish I had my counterspell back. That's not something I want to see right there. Trades. Because he will draw a card off that. Luckily, he is out of mana this turn. And oh, I am just pulling the absolute best top decks at the moment. If you excuse me. I mean, I can put Vaporize here. He swings in for 4, which he will do, and then he will die. The only thing is, if he does pull a Fireball, I will still lose the game because this doesn't trigger. Very interesting. I actually think... I mean, what do? Do you Pyroblast this guy, remove him, and then just hope that that's not a Fireball in there? Or do you Vaporize, he'll swing. He will swing. Alternatively, we play Rag. He 50-50 shoots that guy, and we could get... Yeah, no, that's no good. We definitely want to play that, I think. And I think we'll just ping... We'll ping him. If he swings in with a haste creature, I'll be very surprised. Like, he haste creatures in and takes that out. Although, if he's gonna swing in with a haste creature, I'm dead anyway. This is concerning. This could be a lot of Frostbolt damage. Getting awfully low. You're not dead until you're dead. Just remember that. That's very important. Like, I fully intend to turn this around, but I'm just waiting for that opportune moment to really sort of get off the ground here. It's, okay, so I definitely want to resolve Ragnaros here. But it's probably... Yeah, I mean, because if he's holding a Frostbolt, I die. He swings for 1, he pings me for 1, and then shoots Frostbolt for 4. So I really need him to go away. It's getting low. Getting really low. So do I Ragnaros it or do I Arcane Missile it? Arcane Missile, he, might get 2 if I'm lucky, and then that won't even finish him. I can Pyroblast it. Get rid of it. Or I Ragnaros and just hope I don't die next turn. Oh gosh, that's running it real fine, isn't it? Because the spell power on that is a little bit too frightening. I think I'm just gonna evaporate this man. Yeah, the spell power on that creature was too frightening. He could draw a Frostbolt, an Arcane Missiles, any number of things, and really wreck me here. It had to go. Of course, if he draws a legitimate thing like a Fireball, I'm done for anyway. Okay, here's our opening. We've got our Spellbender. He's taken no action. We're just literally waiting to die. What is the fastest killing option here? Probably Ragnaros. We don't have that much time. He's going to ping us down with his Fire Blast. So I think we go Ragnaros. Yep. Play him. So 8, 1 8, so 8, 2 8s 16, 3 8s 24. So 3 shots in that, and we'll go that. Let's see what happens. If he tops decks the card that he needs, we lose. But if he doesn't, like he might try to sheep this, he might be out of actual... Yep, so there's the sheep. There's our Spellbender. You beauty. He could have another sheep, like, you know, that can happen. But then I'll beat him to death with sheep. Slowly. Yep, now he's thinking. Isn't that interesting that he would... well, sorry, actually, the arrow pointed at the sheep there for a minute. I thought that he was going to target the sheep. I was going to say, isn't that interesting that he targeted the sheep instead of me? But that's not what happened. What is interesting, though, is that he chose to freeze my Ragnaros, who doesn't attack. I think he's a little bit uncertain of that. We're going to get this Spellbender up as quickly as possible. So... we'll do it with the free method. We'll get, you know, I think we're going balls deep at this point. We're going as hard as we can. We need to flood the board. He likely would have a Flame Strike. I mean, look through, he's gone through his whole deck and we haven't seen one yet, so there could be one there. It will do a lot of damage to us. This will live, because this will be on 5 health. This will live. I'm just going to ping him one more time. You know what? I'm going to hold this. I mean, it doesn't particularly matter. 2 shots with Ragnaros wins. 2 shots and that wins at the same speed. So we're just going to hold it because it could go on his creatures instead. He needs to act. Or kill me. And if he draws the Frostbolt, I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. Man, doesn't that really poo ya. That was the last card he drew too, and I had him. Can't lose stars at this rank. Well, that's good to know. Wow. So, could I have done that better? Probably. There was probably some action I could have taken in there that, you know, I might have been able to eke out or prevented a little bit of extra damage. I think I made the right call about not playing my Ragnaros into the mirror entity. I mean, it could have been something else, but it pays just to be sure. I mean, had I just played it, I just would have lost like hours ago. That was really close. That was really close. I need to go home and rethink my life. There's not much more to say about that. That's just really disappointing. That really crushes me. All right, I'll see you guys next time.